Hello, hello, friends. Hope I catch you in high spirits today. Uh, we're back for yet another One Piece chapter review, walkthrough, etc. With chapter 1007, Tanuki, or as it's translated here, Mr. Raccoon Dog, but just calling it Tanuki is better, IMO. Um, yeah, pretty good chapter today. Our lovely cover art here is of Caesar playing with some penguins, giving them some gas balloons, um, which also made me realize um, I we don't really know where Caesar went off to after Whole Cake. Like we know he kind of just went off on his own thing. Um, so we'll have to see. I feel like there's probably cover story potential for Caesar Clown. Um, he was with the group long enough to earn it, I think. Either that or he's going to come back whenever Vegapunk makes a appearance. But let's walk through the chapter. Um, oh, there we go. So we start out right back into the middle of the Ice Oni fight, and sure enough, as we expected last week, Hyogoro is not actually executed. And the Yakuza are all crying, they don't want to do all that. But this was kind of what we all expected last week. Um, and then Queen goes on to literally uh, piss off all of his own teammates. Basically tells them all that they can go ahead and die, uh, to which they obviously just don't love. They And then Queen thinks that Chopper is going to do the same thing that he's doing, with his all being his selfish self. But what he realizes our reindeer friend is a good boy, um, to which he comes in and stops the Yakuza right in time, um, with a nice smiley face, and then in a shot of inspiration very similar to his mentor Hiruru's Sakura cure, he launches his cure out of a cannon, nebulizing it, and it turns out that his cure is just another virus, which it's kind of wild, right? This whole fight uh, can't have been more than half an hour at this point, and he's gone and engineered his own virus in that time, which is quite a feat. Um, Queen is all shook. He's like, "Where did this guy get this expertise?" And Chopper is very upsetty spaghetti over here, with his whole viruses aren't meant to be used as weapons. They'll always slip out of your control in the end. Which that might be some subtle foreshadowing from Oda, implying that maybe Queen will get infected by one of these viruses. We'll have to see, because that would be very interesting. Uh, but at this point, all of the Beast Pirate foot soldiers that were involved in this battle are turning sides. So the vast advantage that the Beast Pirates had in numbers is now slipping away, all thanks to one Mr. Queen. And then Chopper just slaps a Queen in the face, which is the second good slap that we've had in the last few weeks, right? Robin slapped what's her name? Spider Lady, Black Maria. And then now Chopper in monster form is slapping Queen. Um, of course, everyone at this point is calling him Tanuki, and he's not super happy about that. And everyone's kind of like mouth over hand reaction there is fantastic. I especially love Drake's because he's just kind of goofy looking in his dinosaur form there. Um, so really solid panels right here. Also, we got like the respect for Marco. It seems that Marco is still here, even though it seemed like he was hit somewhere else. That last chapter when it looked like he was gonna have to deal with Queen, um, King, and Peruspero all at once. But it seems like at this point, Chopper probably has Queen covered. Because Chopper is actually really powerful now that he's in his monster point form. So he should be able to hold his own against Queen. And then the Samurai should be able to focus on one of the other two, and then Marco can take whoever's last in this whole three-way battle. So that's under control now. Now we switch over to Momo, Yamato, and man, I'm doing really bad with names today. I can't remember her name at all. Kunoichi. And they have this moment where Momonosuke like really shows his lack of confidence, which causes him to turn into Dragon, really shaking Yamato, who did not understand, has no idea what's going on. Also calls him an eel, classic. And then we cut over to CP0, which these few panels are kind of just like an information dump, but it confirms how Vegapunk made this devil fruit that Momo now has. It was used by extracting Kaido's DNA and using that to create an artificial devil fruit. So what Momo's fruit is actually a copy of Kaido's fruit, is what it seems. Apparently Vegapunk said it was a failure, but that brings into the question, is it actually a failure, or was Vegapunk just saying that? As Mr. CP0 guy says here, he's saying thank goodness it was only a failure, even though we have no idea if that's actually the case or not. And then we switch over to the last chapter here, or the last panel here, where the Skybirds are recovering, and it's revealed that the person that has been helping them was Odin. To which everyone's just like, what? I don't think it's actually Odin. I'd be honestly really disappointed if it was. Because if it was, then that would take Odin's amazing self-sacrifice and just kind of utterly ruin it. And I mean, I know Oda doesn't like to have deaths in the series, but like Odin's death is kind of a necessary thing that needs to stay. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be very disappointed. So that brings the question, who is this mystery Odin? And there's a few options here. One theory that's going around that's really popular is the Onimaru, that fox from earlier in the Wano arc, that can change form and such. A lot of people are predicting it's him, which would make sense because he's a shapeshifter. There's another option in that, so the name of this chapter is Tanuki, and the obvious thing about that is that it's going to be talking about Chopper, right? But in Japanese mythology, Tanuki are also shapeshifters. So are we thinking that maybe this is some sort of Tanuki? That's a possibility. Only other things that we're thinking of could possibly be a Kanjuro painting, but that would be odd. I think Kanjuro's role is done here. Additionally, there's that one guy from the Oniwan Banshu, the ninja team, Fukurojo, is that his name, I believe? That's a possibility as well. We're not sure exactly what the level of power is of all these ninja, but to disguise oneself as another person is not out of the realm of possibility. Also, the swords on his hip are not his original swords. They're the same color, but obviously Zoro has Enma, and I don't remember what the other one was called, but I believe Momo was supposed to be in possession of the other one. So, most likely not actually Odin, but we shall see soon. I presume that that's going to be the next thread where things pick up, and that chapter hits March 28th, which means we are on break next week, yes. yeah, that seems, because yesterday was the 14th, so the day after that would be, or the week after that would be the 21st. So yes, the 28th is not next week, but the week after. So with that, let's switch over to Reddit and see what people are saying over here. I'm gonna boost that to about this size. Yeah, I mean, we kind of all know that Chopper was the real MVP this chapter. A lot of people are talking in the comments about that it's time that he got a real bounty. And some people are like, oh, well, it'll be funny if he goes from like lowest bounty to all the way to the top. Other people are like, no, he's going to go up to like 150 or 200, which would also be kind of funny. Or this person's like, it might go down for helping people, which is also really funny. It's like, aha, yes, he helped more people than he hurt, so we're going to reduce his bounty. That'd be really funny too. Queen's defeat will probably be his own undoing by losing control of his best virus, like Chopper alluded to. Also has Chopper figured out a way to stay in Monster Point for more than 3 minutes without being able to move after. So then this guy goes to kind of talk more about what he thinks will happen with Chopper. He thinks this is going to be a point of progression for Chopper, where he's able to stay in his form longer, potentially without the downside of losing mobility afterwards, which that would be cool. It's about time for him to get a full New World, like, actual power level, if that makes sense. This guy, Old Hag, I'm Odin. Odin says, I'm Odin. Chapter 1007, hey, I'm Odin. Fans, any other Odins I should know about? And then, yeah, this guy's like, in before Vegapunk's failed fruit didn't fail at all. He just didn't want the government to have it, and now it's Momonosuke's fruit. I feel like that's a very likely explanation. Otherwise, it would be like it's not a total failure, or just like Vegapunk had too high of standards, and maybe there's like it didn't perfectly recreate. Maybe it'd be interesting if like it was a failure because it didn't perfectly replicate the fruit, and like gave him the abilities but didn't give him the curse of not being able to swim. But Vegapunk was like, oh well, it wasn't perfectly replicated, so it's a failure. I don't remember if we've ever had Momo fall in water yet, so we'll have to double check that. But that would be an interesting conclusion for his, in big quotes, failure of a fruit. Broke, Sanji will join Marco and fight Queen. Woke, Chopper will join Marco and bitch slap Queen. Yeah. Chopper really was the MVP this chapter, wasn't he? Yeah, remember that 5,000 versus 2,700 CP0 was talking about? That got flip-flopped at this point, thanks to MVP Queen. Yeah. Otamo makes all the gifters switch sides, Queen makes all the pleasures waiters switch sides. So really, we're down to like the officers of the Beast Pirates to go up against, and that's about it. Chopper coming in clutch with his doctoring abilities and that slap. The Drake and Marco reaction was hilarious. Yes, we love our mouth to face. The Vegapunk topic with the lineage factor is interesting. Makes me want to see a Kaido flashback so much. What if the reason Vegapunk didn't give the fruit to the world government is because it actually wasn't a failed experiment, like he says? That seems to be the prevailing theory, which honestly means that it won't be, because that's just kind of how things go with Oda, right? People try to expect something, and then a lot of times Oda just subverts expectations. Wasn't expecting that reveal at the end. I don't think it's Odin though. Oh yeah, the other people that are the one last person that people are theorizing is Odin is maybe Katarina Devon, because she has the Kitsune fruit. I don't think that's likely at all. I don't think any of the I don't think any of the Blackbeard pirates are present on Wano at the moment. I think that would be kind of a shoehorn, and I would not really like that. Granted, it could be, so who knows? And then, yeah, this guy says that Devon seems implausible. This guy's leaning to Onimaru. That's kind of what I'm leaning to as well. Some people didn't like how Chopper was able to hurt Queen, and to be honest, I didn't like it at first either. But after a couple of rereads, and now with the official release, I noticed that we are pretty much like Queen. We are downplaying the Straw Hats. This is a long comment. Basically, it seems like this guy is saying that don't underestimate our reindeer boy. All the Straw Hats have really grown and gotten stronger. And their growth is real and not to be downplayed at all. And then I'll do a couple more comments here. Really happy that Chopper got his moment to shine. I was cheering for him the whole chapter. The ending caught me by surprise. I really wonder who's there looking like Odin. Basically mirroring everyone else here. Chopper's gonna be worth more than 100 belly. No one gonna misname other than reindeer now. I really like this guy's comment. I'm against two posters, his Monster Point and his regular one, which that would be really good too. Like his Monster Point gets a form or a poster, and then his regular one also just gets buffed with the normal like 50 berry increase. That reveal was just unreal. I can't believe Chopper's not a Tanuki. Yes. Wild. I know. We all thought he was just a cute little Tanuki boy, but in fact, Tonakaida. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it off here for today. All in all, really enjoyed this chapter, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this whole brand new Odin plot thread ends up next chapter. So I will catch you for the next One Piece review, not next week, but the week after. And until then, keep your spirits high, and I'll catch you on the flip.